I want to talk to you about programmatic audio marketing. And when you hear the terms programmatic audio marketing, everybody thinks about robots or whatever, but it's just far from it. Okay. The whole thing here is that if you are a small business owner, if you are a podcaster, if you are, let's say, a webinar producer, if you are anything that anybody who wants to boost their exposure of their business, their products or service through audio marketing, you really want to embrace, at least explore, the benefit of programmatic audio marketing. So let's just quickly define everything. So here is an overview I really want you to pay attention to. So programmatic audio marketing is the process of targeting specific audiences with audio advertising based on things like their demographics or location. So I want you to think about the intersection of those two things, the duality of demographics and geography. So programmatic audio marketing has to deal with those two elements. Okay, you can buy audio ads on platforms like Pandora and Spotify's free ad-supported options to get through to digital audio listeners. And again, when we talk about audio listeners, we are speaking about podcast listeners. We are speaking about YouTube viewers. We are speaking about all kinds of listeners who love this kind of content. Okay. And when we talk about programmatic audio marketing, you also have to listen. There is another term that usually pops up, and that term is audio inventory. So audio inventory is a term that is used to describe the number of ads available for purchase at any given time. Keep in mind that the number of audio ads available for sale is constantly changing, making it a dynamic inventory. So if you are, let's say, if you are targeting the New York market, you are going to deal with an audio inventory that is different from, let's say, the Rhode Island market or the California market or the Illinois market, and so on and so forth. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here, to have this sort of convos with you. And when we talk about programmatic audio marketing, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. So it can be a small business owner. It can be a podcast producer. It can be a webinar presenter. It could be a motivational speaker. It could be an online course creator. It could be anybody. Okay. And your target, even if your target audience does not listen to radio, it could still work, because nowadays you have a lot of outlets whereby people can actually sell audio marketing slots. Okay. So a lot of opportunities there. So here is the approach I really want you to think about. Let's quickly have a conversation about the benefits of programmatic audio advertising or audio marketing. First of all, you have a constellation of factors that are going in the same, they are really pushing programmatic audio marketing, let's say at the top of the scale here. So you have growing popularity, you have low competition and low cost per mile, cost per milli, my fault here, CPM, cost per milli, and you have ease of use. You have targeting capabilities. Let me quickly talk about those things. First, growing popularity. See, the whole thing here is that everybody believes that you have to be that nowadays people listen only to radio to take it, like, let's say business owners, or when you talk about programmatic audio marketing or audio marketing in general, people think, this is a dead market because nobody's listening to radio anymore. But see, the thing is that the audience has shifted from radio to podcast platforms such as Apple Podcast, such as Spotify, such as Pandora. Okay, you have a lot of platforms nowadays where folks are still listening to radio. For example, while driving, or let's say you are in the train going home, you are commuting, okay, and you have you just listen to your podcast, whatever it is. So, growing popularity. The second thing is you have low competition and low CPM. CPM stands for cost per milli. Milli is Latin or a French word. I think it's either Latin or French. I'm not really sure, but I think it's more French. So mille means 1,000. So cost per thousand is very low. And because a lot of folks, once again, are a lot of players in this industry are focused on video marketing. They're focused on mobile marketing. But audio marketing is really fantastic also, but it's less competitive. So you are benefiting from it. Programmatic audio marketing or programmatic audio advertising is also easy to implement. So ease of use is an important element here that attracts a lot of players in this industry. So audio is hands down one of the easiest media to use. It's also highly adaptable, meaning you can easily use it on just about any platform, including social media. Social media sites like Twitter and Facebook. You can use it on blogs, emails, podcasts, apps, and more. There are other benefits here. First of all, you have not first of all, you do have targeting capabilities. When I was talking earlier about the fact that it has a growing capability or growing popularity, instead, I wanted to talk about the ancillary element of targeting capabilities. See, the whole thing here is that when we talk about audio, like programmatic audio marketing, you are able to go back to what I said about geography and demographics. Okay, so you can actually target like folks aged 18 to 21, folks who work in New York or who work in Rhode Island or who work in Georgia, or you can just target accountants who are between the ages of 45 to 52, and they work in New Mexico. See, it's really amazing the level of granularity that you can actually get if you are able to have the right platform. And what I'm telling you is not really complicated at all. If you go on Pandora, if you go to iHeart Radio, if you go on Spotify, those platforms, among others, they have developed over the years through machine learning and other processes a constellation of features that makes it very easy for you to get that level of targeting that you need. Okay, but when we talk about targeting, granularity is important. It has to be detailed. Okay, and you also have a greater engagement. So we have seen in the last 25 years that audio marketing, specifically programmatic audio marketing, has gained a lot of popularity because of engagement, greater engagement. Okay, you have to understand, audiences cannot easily avoid ads by switching channels or turning off the radio. This makes it a lot easier to build brand awareness and drive traffic to your website using calls to action, which can help increase conversions. And again, it can be your website, it can be your webinar landing page, it could be your podcast landing page, it could be anything, any platform where you want to direct the audience as part of your sales funnel strategy. Okay, and the whole thing here is you want to grab attention, right? You want to grab attention and keep it. Another element that's very important that is an important benefit for programmatic audio marketing is the fact that you have a long-term relationship. Because as a marketer, or as a small business owner, or as a podcaster, as a webinar presenter, you are able to build long-term relationship with customers. Think about it, because you are reaching them you can reach them at any moment. Because even if they are in the subway, they can still listen to music. They can listen to your podcast. They can listen to your audio guide, whatever piece of audio you have, they can listen to it. And on top of that, you will have detailed reports about how many people heard your ad and who they are, along with the information about what they did after they heard it. Did they click on the website? Did they click on the link that you had there? Did they go to your website? What did they do? Because this lets you create custom messages for different audiences. You can track your ROI. You can optimize the performance of future ad campaigns by making small changes to each audio ad instead of one large change, right? Incremental changes are a lot easier. And instead of big changes, have small increments. Okay. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you once again of today's topic. We are having a conversation about programmatic audio marketing. What is it? What benefits it has? Okay, and how to actually use I will speak about how to use programmatic audio marketing for your brand later on. You also have new audiences. See, when we talk about Gen Z, Generation Z, and millennials, they are increasingly becoming digital audio listeners. This means audio ads are the perfect way to engage new audiences that will normally consume content published through traditional channels. How many 18 years old? Let me just ask you a question, boss, and I want you to be really honest with me. How many 18 years old do you know that are turning off regular traditional TV and watching TV? Not a lot. Most of them are now on Netflix. They are now on YouTube. They are on Pandora. They're listening to podcasts on Apple Podcast. So you have this diversity, okay? Diversity when it comes to the platforms they choose. Let me give you a few pro tips here, so we have a clear idea how to actually solidify your programmatic audio marketing strategy. One thing you need to understand here is that there are different ways to use programmatic audio marketing. You can use it as promotional messages used to raise brand awareness or drive traffic to your site. Again, the site can be your webinar landing page, your podcast landing page. You can actually have audio ads placed on podcasts where listeners are likely to be relaxed and engaged. You have short ads that play during natural breaks in an episode of a podcast with fewer distractions. And different types of programmatic audio marketing that can actually you can actually structure your marketing. You can structure your marketing strategy in such a way that you have, for instance, audio pre-rolls that play before a podcast episode starts. You can have mid-rolls that play in the middle of an episode, typically as a break between content segments. You can have post-rolls that play after an episode ends, or you can have as a music streaming ad that plays between songs, right? So what I'm trying to say here is that the diversity of options is just wonderful. In addition to the different types of audio ads, you can also use programmatic audio for music streaming services like Spotify and Pandora, in-game advertising, traditional and digital radio ad buys. So the point I'm trying to make here is that there is a constellation of options that you can choose to actually, lay out a strong foundation for your programmatic audio marketing strategy. Okay. But the goal here is what? We want to go back to what I said about the duality of programmatic audio marketing. That duality is what? Geography and demographics. You always want to make sure that your ad is suitable for specific audiences who are living in specific geographies, who are living in specific places. Okay. An 18-year-old who is living in New York City does not behave as an 18-year-old who is living in Rhode Island. Okay. Or let's say, yeah. So it's really important to see that geography and that demographics. Here are the steps I really want you to take. How do you use programmatic audio marketing for your brand? Let's have a conversation about that. See, here I want to expand the whole the horizon, the analytical horizon here. And I want to say that it doesn't matter whether you have a small business, because a lot of folks believe that only businesses can use audio marketing. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, if you are a podcaster, and I think I've made it clear throughout the convo so far, if you are a podcaster, if you are a motivational speaker, if you are a webinar presenter, if you are an online course creator, if you are a coach, if you are, anybody who needs to create a piece of audio, okay, will be interested in hearing more about programmatic audio marketing. And so it's important to understand that the process is relatively simple to actually start using programmatic audio marketing for your brand. First, you want to choose the app or platform on which you would like to advertise. And you need to create a campaign with specific audience targeting parameters such as demographics, location, and interest. You want to upload your ad creative or have it created for you. And you want to launch your campaign and sit back and enjoy the results. Now, we have an entire video that will talk about how to create a programmatic audio ad. And you will learn more about that. But for now, one thing I want to say here is that you have to be in a situation where you are constantly making sure that you put the listener, your target audience, the member of your audience in mind. as you create. First of all, even before creating, when you start writing the script, you got to think about your target audience in mind as you're writing the script, as you're delivering the script. Now, everything I'm telling you, you don't have to do it yourself, right? There are a lot of services out there, from local services to online services, where you have folks who have been doing this over the years, and they'll get you a great job at a great price. For example, you have sites such as Fiverr, you have TopTal, you have 99 Designs, you have Upwork, you have Freelancer.com. Those websites specialize in providing freelancers at very competitive rates. Okay, so while programmatic digital audio may seem intimidating at first, you can create an effective campaign with a bit of research and planning. Here is a winner for you, and I really want to close today on a very great note. I want to share with you best practices for creating programmatic audio ads, okay? And so you want to start with a strong creative. You want to start with a strong narrative. You want to start with a strong and optimistic creative, okay? Like any other form of advertising, your success with programmatic digital audio depends mainly on the quality of your creative. Make sure that you work with a skilled copywriter and sound designer familiar with the unique demands of digital audio content, okay? Also, keep in mind that your creative must be able to translate into a 30 to 60 second audio spot. You want to clearly explain what's in it for me, right? The YFM, what's in it for me. So when your audience listens to your audio, they need to understand, okay, why should I care? Your audience doesn't care about how wonderful your product is unless they know why they should buy it. With so much noise surrounding any given consumer these days, they won't act on anything short of a benefit or a solution to a problem. And then what you want to do here is you want to test, and test again. Like any other form of advertising, it's essential to test your audio ads before you launch them. Make sure you clearly understand your audience and what they want to hear before you start spending money on this marketing channel. Okay, so programmatic audio is a practical, affordable, and easy to use marketing tool that you can use to reach consumers across various platforms, not just the Spotify and Pandora or iHeartRadio. So now let me give you a few, in our view, the best programmatic audio advertising platforms that you can start testing today. You have a Spotify, you have a Pandora, you have the iHeart, you have DAX Audio HQ, you have Castbox, you have Ad Results Media, you have Speaker, you have iHeart Media, you have Stack Adapt. Now, I just want to quickly say that iHeart Media is the largest traditional and digital radio broadcasting company in the United States. They do provide advertisers several ways to reach listeners via 30-minute segments, digital marketing opportunities within the app. Okay, and going back to Spotify gives you custom branded audio ad delivery, the biggest music streaming platform globally. And then you have Pandora, which offers a custom branded audio, another one of the major audio publishers. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So you can see that you have a constellation of options for you in terms of working with the best digital platforms ever. So this is it. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about programmatic audio marketing, and I gave you the overview, the approach, the pro tips, the steps you need to take, and the winner. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.